Welcome back to the Comic Lyric Podcast, and of course, welcome back to week 3 of December,
which we didn't tell anyone we were doing,
and we didn't think of it until right now because we should have left it longer because people would have been like, "Fuck, if I missed 2 episodes," and people tuning in for the first time, which we are getting a lot of right now, and that's fantastic, would have been like, "Oh, they do themed months." No, we don't.
Well, we have done.
We sometimes do, but rarely ever.
But what's happened this month is we've accidentally exclusively talked about DC Comics.
And next week, which will be the actually, no way. What day is it? What week is it? I've lost track of time.
This is the 2nd week of February.
This will come out on the 3rd week, I believe.
Yes.
So
yes.
We might basically there's a high chance that we might end up doing only DC stuff for the month of February.
Yeah.
So because of what we might do next week, so naturally that means it makes it December, which may or may not be an annual thing.
So what? Oh God, fucking please, God no.
So
we've done what? Is this the 3rd DC comic in a row? I liked the first one.
Yeah, the first one was the Batman one, I think. Yeah, because before that we did assorted crises events.
And I exclusively liked the first one because it had lots of Robin in it.
And it was well written.
Like, I just like Tim Drake.
And then we did Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, which was very well received on this podcast, by half of this podcast.
Yeah, if Ryan and if you took an average of Ryan and I, it gets like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. And also, the episode's done really well by our own metrics, which means if they do more Ice Cream Man creator DC stuff, then we have to do it.
Oh, God. But this week, Ryan.
This week, we are dipping our toes into the warm, comfortable bath. Ooh, a little bit too hot. But the warm, comfortable bath of the DC K.O. the universe event, or whatever you want to call it. But specifically, the boss battle special issue.
So we talked about this before I went on paternity leave, and I can't remember. Did we actually read it together, or did we just do our power rankings based on the brackets?
I read the first issue. I think you skimmed it. And then we talked
pre-paternity leave, man. I was busy.
And then we talked in depth about the brackets. And I've got a lot to say later about how those brackets turned out.
Well, yeah.
But we're going to first talk about the single issue DC K.O. And that is going to lend into me talking about, maybe positively, no, it's going to be negative, about the K.O. event universe and everything that's happened in it.
So, Ryan, cue the music. Can I get your general thoughts?
Well, before we speak the general thoughts...
But you edit it in.
General thoughts?
General thoughts? What are your general thoughts?
My general thoughts are, I think this comic issue from one of the big two... I feel like it was written by someone who not only did not want to do it, but it was the last thing they wanted to do in their career as a comic book writer. I feel like it's one of the things that they rallied against to do it.
Chronologically, they wanted it to be the last thing they did, or they just really didn't want to do it?
If they had a choice of doing anything in their career as a comic book writer, I think this would be the last thing that they would volunteer to do. However, I get the sense that they were forced to do it under threat of lifetime imprisonment. That's my reading on this comic.
I also get that sense, if I'm being... I understand, because it's just so deeply lackluster. And bear in mind, it introduces one of our favourite characters from a comic book series, which is... Samantha from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Yep.
And she turns up and it's just so flaccid.
It's all flat. There's no I'm surprised. I'm not surprised you picked that single out, that moment in particular out, because she's a favorite character of the podcast.
Yeah.
And to see her treated like this is a bit of a disgrace.
But also seeing Homelander and Superman fight. Flaccid. Wet.
I'm surprised you're picking specific moments out, because it's like picking the grey out of the grey. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it is.
I wasn't like, oh, I can't believe I've done this. I was just like absorbed in the greyness the entire...
It's like trying to pick out a single grain of rice from a bowl of unseasoned and unsweetened rice pudding.
Yeah.
Just mush.
With zero flavour.
It is just mush, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
awful.
It's not bad enough to... And this is what I mean. I think it was forced under duress creation by a comic writer who is competent. Because they're not bad. There's nothing's like grievously bad about it. It is just painfully dull, right?
So that's our take. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back next week.
No, I've got more to say.
No. You fucking don't. You stop me
started
here.
now. Because the problem is...
Right. Ryan is visibly excited at how angry he is about this. Because I know why you're angry, right?
My biggest problem with it is, it's not what it is, it's what it could be, or what it claimed it was going to be. That's my biggest issue with it.
I feel like this is one of those toys that was advertised on Cartoon Network when we were kids in the 90s. And it was like, boom, and it had the advert and it was all snazzy and sexy and it did all the things. And then you got the toy and it was like a spring and a barrel that shot Batman 3 inches across the room. And you're like, that's shocking.
Or like 3D glasses, and you're like, everything's going to look so different in the cinema. Then you put them on, you're just like, oh, it's like a millimeter, parts of the film a millimeter closer to me than the background.
It is. It's wholly disappointing. And I think the important context here is that this comes hot on the heels of the Absolute universe not really living up to expectations for us.
I mean, but parts of like, bearing in mind,
but it's just consistent fails for DC at the moment.
I wouldn't say so. I mean, in terms of like general response, like Absolute Universe is doing extremely well. People love it.
This is doing well though, isn't it?
But it's doing well in that way where people are like, I want to see what happens. Like no one's raving about how good it is. Like people are enjoying the Absolute Universe, even despite our criticisms of it. And that being said, I always want to remind people, Absolute Wonder Woman is really good.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Absolute Martian Manhunter, best comic of 2025.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I'm so wrong. I literally advocated for Martian Manhunter being the comic of 2025.
So there's great stuff happening in it, and even if the stuff that we personally don't like is also doing well, and that's fine. This is doing well because it's the big thing, and people are like, what's going to happen in it? Like that's the only reason it's doing as well as it is. Anyway, do you want to tell us what the story of the issue is? Do you want to even attempt it?
Well, there isn't one.
So I'll tell you the story.
So what they did is they got some oats, right, and they put it in some warm water overnight, and they left it overnight to turn into a pale grey mush.
And then someone was like, "Do you want to add anything to that?" And the person here was like, "No,
we're gonna sell it to DC fans at $5 a pop."
Yeah, but it's going to. I don't know how the hell you could do this with food, and this is such a tangent. It's a way you can make food look more interesting without adding any taste. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it looks, on the surface level, it's like, ooh, this could be interesting.
So what they've done is they've added like...
hundreds of thousands.
Food coloring.
Oh, yeah.
They've made plain overnight
for Americans,
oats.
hundreds of thousands of sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
If anyone's confused.
It is a turd covered in sprinkles, isn't it?
But it's not even bad enough to be a turd, because a turd would be interesting. It's like, why is there a turd on my plate? There's a story in that somewhere.
Who upset the chef? Was it me?
So also, I think we should break tradition by not crediting the people who created this. What I will say though, regardless of the credits on the individual page, even though his name isn't on here, well, he's thanked by, this is Scott Snyder stuff, right?
Yeah.
He didn't write this, but nothing's happening in DC K.O. without his sign off.
Yeah.
So this is only like
it's had his editorial.
Blame,
it's had his editorial oversight.
100%, yeah,
certainly.
So the story is
what fucking story?
I'll tell you. Again, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just telling you what it is. In the DC K.O. run, we are down to the final 4.
Yeah.
Spoilers for DC K.O. Also, DC K.O. number 4 comes out before this episode comes out, but we haven't read it yet. We are going to touch on it next week.
Yeah.
So tune in for that. But
whatever happens, however good or bad it is.
Whatever we do for December. But the point
December, you pitched this idea to me when I got here, and I was all into it. And now we've said December.
You were all in, like DC, all in.
I was all in. But now we've said December multiple times, I'm having second thoughts.
Why? It's a perfectly cromulent word.
It's a perfectly cromulent word.
So in DC K.O., we've got the last 4, which is Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, called all those in our predictions.
We did.
75% success rate, and then for some fucking reason, the Joker.
Yeah,
and I'm going to get into that, because I've got words on that.
But didn't the Joker have to fight Jason Todd?
Yeah, I will cover it.
Did he kill him with the crowbar?
No, I will tell you what happens, because
Okay.
that'll be the joining from this into general DC K.O. stuff.
Well, because we're going to do DC K.O. next week. Should we just do DC K.O. next week and we'll talk about it then?
No, well, it relates to this. It's a specific thing.
It's important.
It's Scott Snyder's obsession with the Joker character, because this is what, and we will get into that.
Scott Snyder got a specific boner for the Joker?
I'll tell you all about it. So, but stay till the end of the episode not the end of the episode, it's like near the end. But
this is going to be one where I don't have a lot to say, isn't it?
No,
Ryan
exactly.
is just on one this week.
You can just enjoy my ranting.
I'm going to go hang out with my kid, and Ryan's going to rant about DC K.O. for 45 minutes, and we'll both see you next week.
Yeah. So the story is the final four. A guy, what's his name, World Harbinger or something. He's like, oh no, the final four are about to face the Absolute Universe characters. Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, right? And he's like, hang on, freeze time. You guys don't have enough Omega energy to beat them, right? Now, Omega energy, just a standard thing in this now. It's an established thing. It's contrived, but it exists, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you get Omega energy from the fights. That's why they had the whole bracket thing in the first place, because they need to build up the Omega energy, give it to the winner, and then they can repel Darkseid and stop turning Earth into Apocalypse, which has kind of already happened as they've been battling, but whatever, right?
Okay.
So he's like, to get more Omega energy, I'll send you to other universes and you fight these people, and that'll build up the Omega energies, and then you'll be strong enough to fight the Absolute Universe people.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just will end up firing Omega energies at each other, because if they don't, I don't see the fucking point in any of this.
Well, it ends up just being a Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha off.
Yeah, with several issues of just, oh!
Yeah, that's it. Superman, charge it up!
Yeah, so... And that's how we get to boss battle, which is the characters of DC facing the characters of various other intellectual properties.
So one of them's a Marvel character, isn't she?
So I was surprised by this, because I didn't know. You're talking about Red Sonja.
Yeah.
So she, as I looked up,
I had to look her up.
yeah, she is the apparently original Marvel character, and then
From the 70s?
might have then apparently moved over to Dynamite Comics. I think that's how I think she was Marvel, and now she's Dynamite.
She had a film.
Yeah,
last
recently.
year. Yeah.
Apparently it was awful.
Right, so hence why
Maybe, yeah.
she's ended up in the bargain basement discount bin.
But then
of
you're alongside like Homelander from The Boys.
Well, and this is the thing, isn't it? Because it's such a confusing mix, because The Boys is such a hot property on TV right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Their last season's coming up, and people seem excited.
But it's consistently drawn interest. People are consistently interested
Homelander
in it.
specifically is a character a lot of people gravitate towards, because a lot of them don't see the irony.
Yeah, a lot of people on the right don't see the irony, do they?
And normal people also are just like, he's a really cool villain. Like, enjoy, like, people like Darth Vader, like that kind of thing as well. Although he's far less redeemable than
and
Vader.
Then Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, that has had 2 incredibly successul limited runs.
Yeah, this is definitely an elevation to a wider audience for Beneath the Trees. So that is a good byproduct, hopefully.
Because we've been hip to it for a couple years now.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things that comic book readers en masse, if you're reading this schlop, you may not have been exposed to Beneath the Trees yet.
No, exactly. And someone might be like, oh, serial killer bear. Like, that's interesting. I'll check that out.
The only moment that I found charming and funny is when she met Lex Luthor and she was like, hairless ape.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that does make sense, I suppose.
It makes sense that that's what she'd think he is.
Do you think there's some characters in the Beneath the Trees universe with alopecia who are like, so they're like, she thinks that's what Lex Luthor is?
He's an ape with
because there's a lot of other serious real world stuff in that universe. So why not like a serious skin condition?
Technically, she wasn't even incorrect. Like, he is an ape with no hair. That is what he is.
So generally, my biggest issue with this issue, and like I said before, if it was just grey slop, I wouldn't have anything to say about it. Like if it was a mid comic that just tried to be entertaining and didn't, I wouldn't have anything to say about it. I've said this before, and I think you'll agree. We try and review things not only with our own enjoyment of and our own personal preferences and bias and whatever, but we also try and analyze it for what it is trying to be not what we wish it was, right?
Yeah.
This sold itself as the heroes of DC fighting these, or heroes and villains of DC fighting these characters from other wherever, right?
Yeah.
And it just does it at such the bare minimum level that, so go straight into the fucking spoilers of whatever, right? The biggest problem with this is they fight for a bit, these characters, and then the fight just stops.
Yep.
Because the guy, World Harbinger guy, is like, right, we've got enough Omega Edges, let's get out of here. And it's like, you didn't even... So the final four, Superman, Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, and Joker, right? You think, oh, they're maybe fighting 4 other characters, and there may be some more characters after that. And then Harbinger's like, here's 4 people that were previously eliminated in Black Lightning, Plastic Man, Batwoman, and Star Sapphire.
Yeah.
And I immediately go, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. They're bringing these 4 back, completely contrived and arbitrarily, to lose to some of the other characters. So it turned into a bit more, whatever. They don't even do that. Why? Like,
why are they there? No, it's sort of like it exists for the sake of existing.
Yes.
Nothing happens. And I was particularly disappointed with the fight between Sam and Lex Luthor because they are 2 characters. Like, Sam is interesting because she is meticulous. Sam is interesting because she is a serial killer. She's a meticulous serial killer that operates in a certain way. Lex Luthor is interesting because he's deeply intelligent, and they have a little bit of a fist fight.
Yeah, nothing really happened out of it.
Nothing happened. Like, he's in a mech suit, and she's a bear. I understand.
Sounds like a sitcom, like...
she's in a mech suit, he's a bear.
How are they going to get along?
And they both have to live together in a frat house.
Well, it's like, Luthor, your plans for killing Superman are spill all over the coffee table. It's like, well, your corpses are... I can't be asked for this.
Your corpses.
They're clogging the driveway.
But this is the thing, though, isn't it? We've got, like, somebody who... Sam's prowess in being a killer isn't about her like she's not like handy with a knife. She's not like a fighter. Yes, she's a killer.
Yeah,
she
stalks and tricks and stuff and like stuff like that. Like, I think that was a huge missed opportunity where they could have been like stalking each other.
Yes.
And that kind of, but it just turns into just a stabby fight.
But again, I don't think you can. This is one issue. Admittedly, it's slightly longer than a normal comic book issue, but it is but one issue.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really do justice to any one of those fights over one issue because it happens all the way through. We do not get the spectacle of 2 people as powerful as Superman and Homelander fighting.
No, not at all, really, no.
That should be a huge spectacle, and it just isn't.
All they do in that is to complain about each fight individually while we're still on it. The Sam and Lex Luthor one was especially egregious because as much as I like Sam and, enjoy as a character, Lex Luthor wears a battle armor that he fights Superman in.
Yeah.
She's a bear.
She's a bear with a bear
knife,
in a flannel.
with a fucking knife. And he should have just destroyed her immediately.
Yeah.
So there was no excuse. Again, I love Sam as a character. I don't want her to get just blasted immediately by Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
But it's weird it didn't happen.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what as well, connecting to what I'll say later, I would change up Who Phase 2 a little bit.
Yes.
Or rather complain that they didn't do it, because I think it's stupid they didn't, right? Superman Homelander should have been a very epic, like, again, fights I've done in the past. Superman with General Zod, or Injustice Superman, those kind of Superman on Superman fights should have been like this. All we got
was... What's his name? Glenn? The guy who wrote The Boys.
Garth Ennis.
Garth Ennis. Fuck me, Glenn. Garth Ennis specifically wrote Homelander, in my opinion, to be like a pastiche of what would happen if you had a character as powerful as Superman in the real world, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, Homelander was written specifically to be...
kind of an anti-Superman.
Yeah, but he's like... He fits the same role in the boys' world as Superman does in Metropolis. Yeah. But it's just more realistic that that level of power would corrupt him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it would corrupt anybody. And so the idea that somebody that, like, they are both almost infinitely powerful, and their fight is that wet.
Yeah, it's just they put more focus on establishing Homelander being like, well, I've never met you before, but you seem like a bloody Boy Scout to me.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, well, I thought you were good because you look like a superhero, but I think I'm starting to suspect actually you're not so good, and I'm going to fight you a bit now. and then they fight.
So surface level, isn't it?
No, exactly. There's nothing to it. The most interesting, and it's such a low bar, the most interesting is for some reason they put the characters from Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah.
And they put them up against, just because they needed someone, Plastic Man and Black Lightning.
Yeah.
That was at least a bit fun of a fight where you've got Sub-Zero's ice powers, Black Lightning's electricity, Scorpion's knife on a rope thing, and Plastic Man being Plastic Man. There was a little bit of like, oh, someone's frozen, shot electricity out. Like, it felt the bare minimum was
there
at
was
least
a little
achieved
bit of
here.
interplay between their powers there.
Yes, exactly. But even that was like, oh, gotta get in Plastic Man and Black Lightning for this. Why? Like, again, nothing. I really like both those characters.
Yeah.
But it's, why? Why are they here? Like, why did you need them for this?
And then Wonder Woman versus Red Sonja is just kind of, well, basically it's an opportunity for somebody to draw boobs.
I mean, if you put in Red Sonja in, according to her history, as we both looked up, the boobs are a very important part of it. Apparently, a steel bikini or whatever the fuck they call it is what she wears, and that's established. And I tell you what, it makes more sense than Power Girl's tit window, at the very least. But yeah, Red Sonja, I don't know anything about. I think she's like a kind of Conan the Barbarian-esque character.
Is that purely based on the fact that she looks a bit like him?
Yeah, I assume she's from that kind of setting.
I think between us, we've done maybe 7 minutes of research on Red Sonja.
I mean, I saw Marvel and I was like, what? And then did extra reading based on that alone.
Well, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. I get right, like, even just looking from a aesthetic, and there's probably people, there might be Red Sonja fans shouting at their podcast catchers right now, being like, how dare you, blah, blah. It's like, sorry, like, don't know her. And I looked at her Wikipedia and I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of history there.
But she seems like, I get why they paired her on Wonder Woman. It's a styles, not clash, styles fight where it's like they're both quite similar, and but their dialogue is really just like,
Stilted.
You seem like a valiant warrior, but I will best you. And Wonder was like, no, you seem like a valiant warrior, and I will best. Like, it's that really, isn't it? So I'm going to talk about Joker and Annabelle one at the end, because that will lead into other stuff. It is dumb. Then we get Batwoman versus Vampirella. Again, I get Batwoman, like, she's the closest to a vampire woman, like, in aesthetic only, and maybe they'll fight.
Thematically, that kind of matches.
Yeah. Again, don't know much about Vampirella. I guess she's got the same fans, similar fans as Red Sonja, judging by her outfit and look. So, whatever. Then we get Sabrina Teenage Witch, which I was surprised by. I don't know if I just missed that she was in it, but I always reminded that she didn't start as a television character, that we obviously know her from our childhood.
Oh.
She actually starred in the Archie comics as her own character.
No shit.
Which is the latest TV show, the one with the actress you like from Mad Men.
Kiernan Shipka.
Yes. So that series apparently is more directly based on the Archie comics.
Right.
Because I think, again, most people our age just assumed, oh, that TV show from the 90s that we watched. And that was it. But apparently she is like a comic book character with a lot deeper lore.
Right. Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting then. I didn't realize that, because in my head I was like, why have they done that weird character design for Sabrina the Teenage Witch? But that might just be the Archie comics.
Yeah, and that's why, again, that the newer, I think, Netflix show, but she looks more like this as well.
She looks a bit more like that,
for the exact same reason, Also, one good thing, I will pay this comic one compliment.
Yeah.
They do go out of their way to portray these characters in their original art styles. And I do appreciate that. Like Sabrina, Red Sonja, even the Mortal Kombat people to an extent, but you can literally see the different like textures in their art.
Even Samantha.
Yes, even Samantha.
And again, that was the one thing I was really excited about when you told me about this, is how are they going to do that? How are they going to is she just going to be a bear? Because that would be fucking hilarious. But no, they have... She was. I mean, they had DC'd her up a little bit.
Yeah.
But largely speaking, I can see where they got from A to B.
They've made an effort to make them look like their own art styles and not just completely import them into the DC world. So I think the artists had the most kind of like, come on, let's put a little effort in, like, of anyone who had anything to do with this.
They in that one regard, they put a shift in, although Homelander looks fucking awful.
That is how, but to be fair, that is how he looks in the comics.
Yeah.
So that is still correct at the very least. And again, the most interesting fight happening was just
the Mortal Kombat guys.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat guys. Like, they even have the font for the fight from the games.
Yeah.
Again, the art, they actually were like, come on, guys, we can actually put some effort in and enjoy our work and like make something we're proud of. And the writing and Scott Snyder was just like, nah, fuck it. no one cares. As long as the fight happens, like that's fine.
I must admit, we didn't start with the arting, but overall, I did quite like the art.
I think apart from noticing that and enjoying that aspect, it was just DC house style for me.
It looks all right though.
It was fine. Perfectly serviceable. But again, this is why I enjoyed the bloody Kryptonite Spectrum more. Because I was like, look at these pages. They're crazy. And
you know what?
This is making you appreciate.
Yeah, it is so much.
You forget how bad like we have it most of the time with these.
I think I'd had a few months off and I'd forgotten how bad it could get.
How boring it could get.
Because I would absolutely read the Kryptonite Spectrum on repeat for a month instead of reading this again.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was mean about that comic. I was so mean about it.
That's why I had to defend it. To be fair, so the World Forger, I remember now, he doesn't just pull them out arbitrarily. The cracks to reality which they sent through have started closing or whatever. So I'm not going to put on him. I'm going to put on the writing. Because like, why cut the fight short? And actually, no, that's not even why they cut the short. That's why they start jumping into each other's battles. Yeah. Which again, like, I think at that point I was like, oh, we're not getting proper ending to this.
Yeah.
I as soon as the battle started crossing into each other's dimensions and they all ended up in like a gladiator pit at the end, which might be a reference to something. It might be a reference to a Fortnite or something like that, or I don't know. But once they were all together fighting each other, I was like, this is going to end properly.
Yeah.
And then the guy turns up, he's like, right, stop. We've filled the Omega Energies meter.
We've filled the tank.
Yes,
let's go.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Oh yeah, I've finished getting petrol.
Not the final drops. Let's get out of here. Yeah. So yeah, then it ends, and now it's like, and now you are ready to. Again, if I was a fan, and I think I have seen this sentiment online as well. But if you were excited for this, and I think this is the thing we were most excited for the DC K.O. things, we're like Samantha from Beneath the Trees, and all these other ones, and Homelander as well. I think you're right to be disappointed in this. Yeah. You're like, what was the point in this?
It's wholly disappointing.
It achieves what it sets out to like achieve is like show this fight, and people wanted to see. Some people want to see Homelander win. Some people want to see Superman win.
Yeah,
but you've just annoyed both of those camps.
Nobody got to see anybody win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think by then you're just like, what was the point in this? Other than the only thing they achieved was, here's them in the same panel.
Yeah.
And it's not like copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing you achieved.
And you could have asked ChatGPT to do that for you.
Yeah. I guess. Again, that's why I didn't want to credit anyone at the beginning. So like,
I wonder if we've accidentally read a comic that has some AI content in it and not noticed.
Maybe. But then I think people are keen to catch. I think there's people out there who are so keen to catch people out for it, because that track that does numbers when you put that online. It's like, look, evidence of AI.
Yeah.
Like, so I think
hate
creators
it.
Yeah, exactly.
The younger generation, particularly, are really insulted.
Yeah, exactly. So I saved one fight to talk about last, just because that's going to take me into the problems with DC
Joker and Annabelle.
Joker and Annabelle, right? I didn't know anything about Annabelle, right? The doll.
Yeah.
But in reading this, I thought, okay, creepy, character and the Joker, like
makes sense.
It's the only character that's not. I might be wrong. The only character, well, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Most of the characters are comic book characters.
Yeah.
The more combo ones, obviously, video games. This is the only pure film character, right?
She's from Chucky, right?
No, she's from the Conjuring universe.
Right. Oh, yes. Yeah. Right. Okay.
But. So I thought, yeah, creepy character, Joker, like this could be an interesting, like horror movie-esque kind of fight. Like, let's see what happens. In reviewing this comic, they don't fight. Nothing happens.
They just hang out.
It's inferred that they are fighting off panel, because at one point you see Joker and like he's got his hands out, presumably at Annabelle, but that's it.
Yeah.
Short of that, he is just talking to what is essentially an inanimate object.
Yes.
And then maybe they're fighting later. And then that's it, right? Yeah. And that's one of the most like, what was the point in this at all, right? I looked up because I was like, what is the Annabelle doll? What happens with her, right? What does she do? Because I didn't know. And I watched, they'll put a film on YouTube and it'll be the 10 clips.
Yes.
10 clips from film. You've basically watched the film, here's 10 clips, whatever. I watched through those. Turns out what Annabelle does is fucking nothing, right?
Right.
She's possessed, and I use the word possessed very lightly. She's
Yeah.
got something to do with a demon or a ghost of someone who died holding her, or both, or neither, right?
Right.
And
or both, or neither.
Or both, or neither. Because I watch clips on YouTube. I'm not going to say for sure it's one way or the other. But in the clips, the only thing she actually does, right, is she at one point is levitating, and it's because there is the demon or whatever that's doing it is holding her up, right?
Yeah.
And they actually, as the camera zooms in, you start to see the demon, and then the woman who it's happening to screams and runs away, right?
Okay.
Annabelle doesn't do anything.
She's literally just a doll being held up by a demon.
Yes. So why did they put her in this to do nothing?
Well, I mean, I see your point. I think when you expect anything from DC K.O, you expect too much.
Well, this is what the lesson we're learning. I thought, my expectations were low, but holy fuck,
yeah, my expectations were low, but I wasn't expecting one of the bosses to be an inanimate fucking object.
Yes, and if you were a full-on Annabelle fan or Conjuring Universe fan or whatever, those fucking based on the lives of those real-life liars who claimed they had fought ghosts for years and now get a movie franchise made about them.
Yeah,
but and there is a real Annabelle doll. It doesn't look anywhere near as scary as the actual Annabelle. They're to scare them up for the big movie.
Is the Annabelle stuff a true story about fake?
I'm doing quote marks for the listener.
True story about fake haunting.
Yes,
right,
literally, yeah. So, but if you were an Annabelle fan, what was your expectation? Were you like, oh, Annabelle's gonna haunt the Joker, or or Annabelle is going to come to life and fight him, or like is gonna enter his mind and they're gonna do something like that? Because if those were your expectations, none of that fucking happens.
Yeah,
nothing happens. They sit down he goes into the house, he's like, oh, this is creepy, and the Annabelle his doll is there, and there's like a tea set, and he sits down and he's talking to an animate object, and then he gets mad at her, and then cut to they are maybe fighting off panel in another panel. That's it. And I just don't understand why you do any of this. Like I said before, in terms of swapping some over, right? I think what would have been better, Joker with Samantha, stabbing the shit out of each other, right? And Lex Luthor investigating this doll, being like, what's going on here? And then getting haunted and trying to determine what's going on and using science on his readings. And,
much more interesting.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And again, I can't believe I can believe that this happened. I can't believe Joker's in the fucking Final Four in the first place.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jason Todd should have got his revenge.
Yeah, you would think a lot of things would have happened between the beginning of DC K.O. and this, right? So I've actually got a list. I've compiled a list of what has happened during this series to get to the point we're at now, right?
Right, okay.
Just to kind of get across.
Is it exhaustive?
No, not really. It's just a couple of really egregious points,
right? Okay,
right?
Go for it.
But basically, this shows why Scott Snyder, for some reason, fucking loves the Joker and that. Well, we don't know him personally.
So does Scott Snyder have a particular boner for the Joker? Is that it?
And this is my evidence. These are my exhibits.
Okay, counsel, present your evidence.
So in the first issue, right?
Yeah.
People, non-powered and non-powered heroes all trying to reach this finish line to get into the DC K.O. fight. Somehow Joker makes it to the end with no powers.
Yeah.
And also, somehow in that moment, manages to shoot Batman in the back and kill him, quote marks.
Yeah.
Something that he's never achieved before,
Ever.
But suddenly he's done it now in this scenario. Then, and another problem with DC K.O, that first round of brackets, it wasn't first round, it was a scramble free-for-all.
Yeah, and that bothered me so much.
Yeah. Again, why give people the brackets and be like, this is what we're doing? You could have started the brackets from the next round onwards, and not lied to people, and they didn't overtly say, but you did put out a bracket with the verses.
And let's be frank here, they wanted to put Batman on the brackets, right?
Yeah. And
why write him out of it?
But then even that in itself, Batman getting written out in some way, that's interesting. That is a thing. But it's the Joker who is famously really bad at killing the Batman. In terms of a success rate, he's basically zero with maybe a 0.1 exception for Otherworld or, other timeline stuff, whatever bollocks like that. Yeah. So Joker makes it into the bracket. He's in the first round. He's in the free-for-all. Everyone's
Who does he fight?
It was free-for-all. So what they've got to do...
He gets through the free-for-all.
Yeah, but what they've got to do in the free-for-all is they've each got to find an item. So there's however many people there are...
Oh, it's like a find the MacGuffin.
Yeah, but there's half the number of MacGuffins to people. So half the people will get through, right?
Yeah.
And there's gets a point where Wonder Woman and Etrigan the Demon are looking for the Atom Belt, which is basically a belt that makes someone giant, right?
Right.
They're fighting over it, and then someone else look for it. I think Giganta, who's already giant. Maybe she thinks she's going to get double giant or something.
Giant?
And then she's like,
she would.
Well, you may, presumably. And then she's looking around, so I can't find it. And then turns around, Joker, he's got the belt. So, bunch of superpowered people running and sprinting around looking for these items. Joker, with no powers, is just like, I found it.
Joker is just a guy with untreated mental health problems and a lot of face pain.
Yeah. And knives.
And
okay, give him the knives. But he finds it, stomps on Giganta, and then eats a bunch of the contestants.
Oh, God.
Which was a really weird, what's that old, that meme, this week, the writer's barely disguised fetish. There were a lot of
the writer's got a vor fetish.
There were a lot of comments about vor, and I was like, I don't know what that is, and I feel like I'm going to find out, and I'm not happy about it.
You don't know what vor is.
I know the broad strokes, so that's about it. So Joker eats a bunch of people's favorite characters, which couldn't be good. So after that, he goes to the actual beginning of the brackets, and it's Jason Todd, right? And we assumed, surely Jason Todd is going to kill, either he's going to kill him.
Jason Todd, the only thing that would have been fitting here is if Jason Todd had killed him with a crowbar.
Yeah. And I think it does, something like that does happen at some point, because all the fights are in 3 rounds. Right. So everyone gets one, but, it's best of, 3, essentially. So they get to a point where they are fighting in the graveyard, and I can't even remember why. They are stabbing the shit out of each other, and it gets to a point where Joker is dead in the grave, right? Yeah. And Jason is heavily bleeding out, and he's like, whatever happens after now, I bested him. Even if I die right now, and I am dying right now, I still did it, and I got it, and that's my victory. And then he falls over and he dies, and then Joker zooms in, and in his heart, he's got a device that kicks off and restarts his heart, and then he wakes up again.
That's
and
dumb.
Genuinely, why do you insist on making him get to the next round? What is the point?
Yeah, Snyder did everything in his power to make sure the Joker got through.
And then we're not even done.
So how many more? So how many? He's made it through 3 brackets, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And then he makes it through this next bracket. So the next bracket there's 8 contenders. Yeah. What they can do is they can pick someone from the previous round, someone who's previously eliminated, to be their partner, and they're doing doubles, basically. But they turn up, and the voice of the apocalypse energy, or whatever the fuck it is again, I can't remember, goes, one of you has amassed more Omega energies than the others, and therefore they get to pick someone from all of space and time. Would you, for $1 million, would you like to guess which character of the 8 somehow managed to amass more Omega energies?
Was it the Joker?
No, Superman.
Oh.
No, it's Joker.
Oh, right, it was the Joker.
It was the fucking Joker. Joker just goes, I love this game. And someone in the back is like, you gotta be kidding me. It's don't have your characters
call you out.
Yeah, espouse the same sentiment that your readers are having at that moment, which is why making them not like this comic.
Yeah.
So Joker picks, and they do a weird thing where it's who's the Joker's person going to be? And he initially appears to pick the Batman Who Laughs, who is famously one of the most controversial recent characters. Right. He is literally a Bruce Wayne of the universe who gets infected with Joker toxin from Joker's dying body, and basically becomes a Batman Joker hybrid character who was so disliked that at one point, canonically, he ended up in the Fortnite universe and seemingly died there. So actually got shunted not only to a different comic universe, to a different mediums universe, and may probably died there or something. I don't know.
Fortnite universe.
I know surface level of that. I think that might be a video at one point, because it's such an interesting, as surface level knowledge I have of it, it's a really weird thing where they literally got him out of their universe into another one
They
to
sent
die.
him to Siberia.
Yeah.
It's the comic book equivalent of going to Siberia.
Yeah. So he was brought back in this. And again, a controversial, like, badly written character in a bad storyline, the dark metal storyline, or whatever the fuck it was. So for him to be like, here's that character that a lot of readers hate. And then they go, psych, it's not him, actually.
Yeah.
It's Emperor Joker, who is a fifth dimensional Joker variant or something, right? Basically an all-powerful, godlike Joker character, basically.
Okay.
And he goes up against Zatanna, and she picks Constantine, I think. And yeah, picks Constantine. And they've got nothing against Mixes Pitlick level stuff, right? They got nothing against it. So again, he's picked the most powerful character because he arbitrarily had the most Omega energy. And then my last point is pitted against Annabelle Doll, who does nothing and we never see fighting.
Yeah, it's silly. So but it seems that all four of them have made it through at the end of this, right? Like, that's how that's what.
Oh yeah, they amassed more Omega energies. That's all. This was a quick
the
jaunt.
Joker amassed the most.
Well, he did previously. He might have again for all we fucking know. I mean, think about it. They're facing three. Yeah, they're seemingly now facing the three absolute trinity. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Yeah. There's also Darkseid possessed Booster Gold, so maybe he's taking part, but maybe not.
Well, he stood there.
Yeah, I mean,
so
he's there.
Only assume.
He's one of the four. And then the four and Joker's, these are powerful. Again, absolute Batman. He's the weakest of those four.
Yeah.
When you consider who else is who, right? Booster Gold, generally not a very strong character, but he's possessed by fucking Darkseid, who is basically, for reference, he's basically DC Thanos, right? So pretty powerful.
Booster Gold often has a scarab, though, doesn't he?
No, you think a Blue Beetle, his best mate.
So yes, I am.
Booster Gold has technology from the future. So
yes, he does. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
But so of those four, Absolute Batman is like the weakest of them, right?
Yeah.
He's a 6'9" shit brick house with a axe on his chest that he's got his axe out.
He's
and
wielding his
those
axe.
hook batwing things. And Joker is just running straight ahead. It's like,
with two little
even
knives.
if you get the weakest of those, you're fucked. Because this absolute Batman, he's like tearing people's jaws off and shit, and like cutting people's arms off. Like he
kills racists.
Yeah, and snaps their fucking elbows like the other way. You're not gonna get the same patience like Earth 1 Batman.
No.
You are not getting that. That's like the parent who's normally a pushover. and then the strict parent comes in. It's like you are, or the strict like relative or something. It's like you are not getting away with the same shit you normally do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's just running full pelt. And if he doesn't get him, he's getting a god or absolute Superman or Wonder Woman or possessed by Darkseid.
And absolute Superman is just Superman with long hair, isn't he?
Yeah, but with like an edgy teenager kind of vibe to him as well. Very anti-establishment, but it feels very surface and hollow. I mean, we've reviewed Absolute Superman. We've said our thoughts on it. It's bad.
I honestly, it was pre-paternity leave, wasn't it? But I don't remember.
Yeah, like well before that. Even,
yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, so my problems generally with the whole DC K.O. universe.
It's just weak sauce, isn't it?
It's just all bad and boring. And even now, even with everything that's gone wrong with it, and that's a bit underwhelming in it, I'm still like, I want to see who wins, though. Like that, but that's why
people are buying it. Yeah. We're going to review issue 4
because again, some like prime example is the Amazing Superman.
Prime example.
Amazing Spider-Man was like top 10 comic and was shit on every week for being awful.
Yeah,
but people were just like, "What fresh hell is coming next week?
Yeah,
I'll pay money to find out."
Yeah,
like that level. But I don't think this is quite to that level. I think there are very common complaints amongst the readership of everything that's wrong in this.
I think this is endemic of what's wrong with comic books sometimes, is that a lot of slop makes it through. A lot of slop makes it through and gets published.
I wouldn't to call it slop, because I think we have new levels of slop with like AI and everything. Yeah. I think this, I've said it before with Absolute Batman, I think this is very much spectacle over substance.
Yeah.
There's zero substance in this, like even less than like an Absolute Batman, which is where I came up with that in the first place. I didn't invent that term, but what I started using it for. But why I started using it was for Absolute Batman. This is way more egregious. This is far more egregious because it's zero substance, and the spectacle is just Mortal Kombat and Plastic Man and Black Lightning. Like,
this is almost the ones
Yeah, but even the ones was
You remember the ones?
Yeah. The ones was for anyone who doesn't know, and I do not why would you, was a Brian Michael Bendis comic that I was like, this looks interesting. And then we, like, early on in the podcast.
This is back when we still talked for half an hour before we started talking about the comic.
Yeah. And then we read it, and it was like, it was the most corny, cliched, like, quip, like, all characters are quippy. And they're just all annoying, like, kind of thing. At least that was interesting in that regard. It
was the first time we'd read a truly mid comic on the podcast.
Yeah, but even that was mid in the ways that we were like, there are the glaring problems with it. This is, again, it's just...
So are you suggesting there's nothing obviously wrong with it, it's just nothing good either?
I think it's like I started... my thoughts on this is the most glaring problem with it is that it just doesn't even attempt to make what it's trying to do interesting.
There's no problems. There's just nothing.
It's not like the ones where I could be where we both said like the characters are far too quippy. Like no one's taking anything seriously. Like those are problems that you could rectify. This is like maybe try making it interesting.
Maybe actually write a comic book.
Yeah, or maybe just try making it like entertaining to read.
I mean, I think the issue is the premise itself isn't particularly interesting.
But like I say, like by the standards of like the comics we love, this was never going to be that level, right?
No.
But at the very least, it could have been an interesting fight between Superman and Homelander. There could have been a winner. Joker could have not spoken to an inanimate object for the entire time. Like you wouldn't have paired Sam and Lex Luthor because that doesn't make any sense. The Mortal Kombat people should have got violent kills because that's what they're known for in the Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
You brought in characters who weren't in the Final Four who could have been prime fodder for those violent kills.
Yeah.
Like, though, again,
lots of blood, lots of gore.
I'm listing these like off the top of my head as just like, hey, what could have made this more interesting?
Yeah.
And again, it wouldn't have made it a great comic. It wouldn't necessarily even made it a good comic.
But it would have made it worth the price of admission because at least then it would have given us what we came to it for.
This comic could have aspired to be a bit of fun. I've used that a lot for like, it's something like, you know what? It wasn't great. Like,
the last Battle Royale style comic we read
was a fair bit of fun.
Was a bit of
fun. Exquisite Corpses. That was the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was a bit of fun.
Yeah. Exquisite Corpses was a bit of fun. I think the thing with Battle Royale style content, so we're talking The Hunger Games, Battle Royale, the film, Exquisite Corpses to a degree. It's interesting when you see the socio-political environment that has caused that to happen seeping in.
Yeah.
And so what made the Hunger Games so interesting and compelling, I think, was the implications of class and the dystopian element. Same with Battle Royale, the film. With this, the exterior force that's causing all of this to happen is just superhero shenanigans.
Yes, it's just stuff happening.
And we know that it's happening in an alternate universe. We know that none of it matters.
Oh, well, apparently this is main universe stuff. But
it's main universe, but it's all happening kind of...
No one's dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the stakes are really fucking low.
There's no permadeath. There is just an arbitrary... The world is at stake. It's like, literally every other world event that happens in both Marvel and DC.
And therein lies the point. I think this concept is interesting for reasons that aren't present here. And so it's not interesting. Like it's not even it's barely interesting in concept when you really get down to it.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's no stakes, like, essentially. Like, Darkseid might come back, who cares? But at the very least, again, if we're doing, like, tiers of just, like, fiction in general and more specifically within, like, characters fighting each other, if you look at tiers of, like, excellent and then great, good, and then under that, again, a bit of fun, this could have been a bit of fun.
Yeah.
That was sold on, where it's like, look, there's no stakes, but Superman fighting Captain Atom in the first, who's going to go to the next round? Oh, it's Jay Garrick and Green, redhead Bolker, I can't remember his name, Green Lantern.
Redhead Bolker.
Yeah, the one played by...
You mean Buster?
Buster? No, not Booster.
No, not Booster. Oh, God, what's his name? I know who you mean.
Yeah, he's
the one played by Nathan Fillion.
Yes, yeah. Can't remember his name right now. But there was at least that element of, like, who's going to go to the next round? Like, that is... a tournament is at least inherently interesting of, like, who's going to fight who next round, right?
But we didn't even get that.
Well, they didn't bother doing the first round, and people are just getting through who shouldn't. Like... I brought up, you Google image it, the panel of the Joker just fucking dead on the ground, and then, oh, no, there's a device on his heart that he had on there for some reason before going into this. For reasons. I mean, it is useful thing, I guess, like to restart your heart. But
handy.
But that relies on the person who just almost killed you themselves dying and bleeding out as well, right?
Yeah. What this has made me do is renewed my desire to read the Under the Red Hood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to do that.
And to talk and to read, because Under the Red Hood is where Jason Todd comes back as the Red Hood, isn't it?
Yes.
And then I also want to read the comic where the Joker kills him.
Yes.
I think we
Death
need
in
to
the Family.
Yeah, I think we need to read Death in the Family and Under the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Because as we've established recently, I'm just a fan of all the Robins.
Yep. But next week we'll be covering DC Night Fight, I think it's called off the top of my head, which is what Batman's been up to since he was quote unquote dead in the beginning of the DC tournament.
And much to my excitement,
it involves a lot of Robins.
A lot of Robins. It's gonna get.
You might get 4 out of 4.
You're gonna get 4 out of 4 Robins. How fucking cool is that?
Potentially.
Oh yeah. So, but this comic book still gets one. It gets 1 out of 4 Robins, Ryan. Unfortunately, it does.
I'm trying to think where the Robin is.
It was Jason Todd.
Oh, not in this comic.
Oh yeah, I suppose Jason.
That was just the joke. I showed you the Red Hood Joker.
Yeah, no.
thing.
So this
0 Robins.
So yeah, this issue gets 0 Robins, but the DC K.O. in general, unfortunately, does get 1 Robin.
I mean, in the entire series of it, but also even that fight was like it was under the DC K.O. banner. So yeah, it fits. But yeah, next week we'll be covering Batman Night Fight, Batman interacting in a dream world with Robins who, whatever, become Batman.
And I'm
or
really
something.
excited about that. So tune in for next week because I love talking about Robin.
And we will cover DC KO issue 4, which
just
by that point
know.
will be like 2 weeks after it came out. So classic comic lyric fashion coming to it fashionably late as always.
Yes.
So this is a short episode because it was just negativity and...
Well, there's a couple bits that I wanted to run through, Ryan.
Yes.
There's some stuff I wanted to bring to the table.
It's a classic comic lyric comment corner.
Yeah, so I don't want to talk about any specific comments today. I just want to comment on how fucking weird you all are.
It's presuming the people who comment on the shorts, who are leaving these kind of shorts, probably aren't the people who are listening to the end of an episode.
Sorry, yes. So, you, listener, who listened to the end of the episode...
You're the good ones.
We like you. Could you start commenting on our stuff more often, please? Because what we get on our YouTube shorts is fucking weird. So we did a YouTube short where we talked about Power Girl's tit window.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, the general theme of the comments there was, we are misogynists because we don't like the tit window, and we are gay because we don't like the tit window. And also, that is the gist of the comments. She still has the boob window because she's a strong woman who loves how she looks, and Nick men wanted to grade themselves by looking at it, then that's their problem. I'm sorry you're degrading yourself by looking at them. No punctuation, that's the comment. I think they were trying to say that we are sick men who are degrading ourselves but looking at the tit windows. And then somebody else, which is fucking brilliant, said she's a fictional character. She doesn't actually make decisions.
Which is a salient point.
It's a salient point. And then somebody else just called us gay.
No. They didn't call us gay.
Oh, right.
They said, so we're gay.
Yeah, so we're gay.
I don't know. Does that mean, are they including us with them? Like, or are they like sarcastically talking about them? Like, as in what we are portraying them as by criticizing the tit window, or so.
None of it makes any sense.
And those are the best kind of comments that make you think.
Yeah, that whole comment section is a real thinker. So if we can get in there, if you listening right now, hardcore illiterates, can get in there and just stir up some shit in that comment section, that'd be great. And then we did another short, and I was reading the TikTok comments for this one, which were even better. But it was basically. We did a short where we talked about James Bond going in Asia face, right? And the general sense was that nobody thought it would... A bunch of people are basically saying, I'm Asian, I don't think it's racist. A lot of people will say they don't think it's racist. And it's like, fair enough if that's your opinion, but why come here to say that?
I mean, I think they felt the need to be like, I can't believe they're desecrating the memory of Sean Connery's James Bond.
Sean Connery, who famously liked to beat women.
I know, exactly.
Like, Sean Connery was not a nice man.
Good Bond. for the most part.
Great
when
Bond.
he wasn't doing Asia Face.
When he was a great Bond.
And also, the point of the video, we weren't just like, can't believe he did this. The point of the video is that point out they go through all this effort of doing this thing, which is not, whether you think it's racist or whatever, at the very least, it's very racially insensitive.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work for the character.
And
so there
that's
was
the
no
joke.
point doing it at all.
Like that's why we were talking about it. That's why we found it so funny. And then what was the other one we wanted to talk about? There was one more.
The other one was there was a show about Bucky Barnes running for US Senate in the MCU universe.
Yes.
And just pointing out in a vacuum, just this little point that it's funny that Bucky Barnes is a Russian asset who becomes a major political figure, American political figure in the MCU.
Yes.
And I reiterated at the end of the video, it's only 30 seconds long anyway, I just point out, and this has nothing to do with anything that's happening in real life.
And
right?
bear in mind, these are all clips that are cut from the podcast, aren't they?
Yes,
These are all
exactly.
things that have been said on the podcast.
Yeah, we're not making original content.
No,
for sure.
we just
God, no.
we trim out 30 seconds from the podcast that we find amusing. This could end up being a short. You never know.
Although
you never
normally,
know.
if we talk about it being a short or possibly being a short, it kind of becomes too meta to become a short.
Yeah. Which
So-
means this needs to be a short because then it's really meta because we're talking about how we wouldn't make it into a short.
I tell you what, you get on that, and I'll keep on
Right,
this.
I'm firing up DaVinci Pro.
So this with the Bucky one, what was just funny was a couple of funny comments that took the wrong meaning potentially from.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there's there's two particularly funny ones. One was someone commented, said, proven wrong, by the way, on multiple accounts. Dislike him all you want, but you shouldn't spread misinfo. And I was so confused by this because I was like, we're only talking about Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, we exclusively are talking about Bucky
who
here.
we love. They accuse us of disliking him. We say literally at the beginning, "Oh, we love Bucky."
Yeah, we do love Bucky here.
And it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt with video evidence that Bucky Barnes was the Winter Soldier. So I don't know what
This
aspect they're
person is
coming
on about,
from.
yeah.
They're very confused. I commented, hopefully clearing things up. So hopefully this has helped them in some way.
Yeah.
And the other one was a one-word comment, which are, as we've established, the best kind of comments. Yeah. And it just said, soy.
Which says everything you need it to say.
Yeah. And someone else put yes. So it's like,
yes.
We're not like, at least we're all in agreement on that one.
Absolutely.
We have self-confessed soy boy beta cucks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are both keen plant milk advocates, I think, at this point. I'm basically vegan at this point. I'm so close to being on a plant-based diet, it hurts.
How cuckold of you.
How cuckold of me. It's okay, though. My son looks a lot like me. It's fine.
It's good enough.
It's good, and it'll do. It'll do.
You'll only find out once you need that liver transplant later on. But that's down the road.
It's down the line. It's fine.
So this just reminded me of one other comment I saw. So when I started trying to make the Comic Stand videos, I cross-posted thinking, maybe it'll do something. It didn't do anything at all. But I only realized like much later down the line, and this was like almost 2 years, like a year and a half ago at least. But I saw, there's a comment on that cross tab that I put on the Comic Lero channel. I wonder what that says. Opened it up, and the comment just says, dumb.
I mean, they are right.
I mean, it wasn't even on the video though. It was just me being like, here's a video on another channel.
Isn't it?
The recommendation of another video was dumb.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to say.
We love it.
And maybe they're right. But yeah. So we've got some great fans and listeners, and we are in a position where at least attracting the weirdos. And those are the best comments.
The issue is some of our YouTube shorts get over 1 million views, don't they? And when that happens, the comment section inevitably gets a bit weird.
I mean, especially it doesn't help when the video that reaches the most views is on the subject of the Holocaust.
Yeah, so we now can say we have a Holocaust video with over 1 million views on it, which is fucking hilarious.
And we promise it's not spreading misinformation or rewriting history.
It's very sensitive, I think.
And tell you what, there was a comment. So the point of that short was Professor X using his mental powers to make Magneto relive the Holocaust, and us being like, why did he do that? Yeah. He could have just disabled him psychically or whatever. There was one comment I saw in the sea of them. I think I just saw it by chance because there are loads of comments on it, luckily for us. But there was one that and there's a lot of people being like, why is it bad that he did that or something or whatever? Like, just dumb comments.
Obvious reasons, you fucking idiot.
There was one that caught my eye which did actually make me think for a second, and it was, the reason the Professor X is doing that is because in that moment, and is a common story for Magneto, like in a lot of instances and iterations, Magneto is kind of intending to do the same thing to humans.
Yes.
With mutants being the superior race.
Yeah.
So Professor X is trying to be like, remember when other people did that to you?
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't do it to other people. So that was the one comment that made me think, okay, there is something
Somebody
to it.
engaged with our content
Yeah.
intelligently.
That was somewhat lost in the execution and presentation in a kids' TV show.
Yes.
About how it's done. I still stand by the fact that Professor X, if he can use his mental powers on Magneto at all,
He could have done anything else.
yeah. And almost 80% of the other comments are people going, how's he doing that when Magneto's got his helmet on?
Which is great, isn't it?
Which, to be fair, is a mistake I made as well.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I looked up, couple seconds Googling, realizing, oh, the Magneto helmet thing, repelling psychic attack, that was actually started in the X-Men film.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is and was such a successful bit of lore or whatever you call it, world building.
It makes so much sense.
Yes, that it came into the X-Men
Yeah.
universe. But yeah, a lot of people are like, how does he do that with helmet on? And then occasionally you would get the comments. And this these are the people I'm trying to get on board, is the actually.
Yeah. Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? Actually, that only became a thing in the first X-Men film.
Have you done that to your missus yet? The correction with the glasses on. Like, actually, I think you're fine.
I'll be honest with you, mate. She's a lot smarter than me. I very rarely get the opportunity to correct her.
So if it does happen one day, we will hear
I'll fucking run and get my glasses.
We'll hear about it on the podcast. Record a voice note and I'll add it. Guys, it happened. So yeah, that's DC K.O. boss baby battle for you.
Baby battle boss.
Baby battle boss minions.
Right, I'm gonna go because I've got a life to get back to. But I cherish this time, Ryan.
Yeah.
I cherish this time with you, and I cherish this time with the illiterates.
Especially the times where I don't enjoy the comic that we're reading.
I love it. I literally fucking live for it.
It helps that this is one that you liked and I didn't like. Like, we both didn't like it, but I had more like fervent criticism of it.
I just thought it was slop.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Whereas I was like, this is the exact reasons why it's slop, and this is how it could have been better.
I feel like you felt more aggrieved by it.
A little. Again,
I
I didn't. The summary of the episode for just before we go away is our expectations were low, but holy fuck! Like that is the walk away with it.
That should be the title. Our expectation. That should be the subtitle of this episode. Our expectations were low, but holy fuck.
Yeah, okay. With a comic censored fuck.
Fuck you.
But that's not a no.
No. You're right.
Got to think about those clicks.
Yeah, no, you're right. There has to be, but just know that I hate it.
Or I mean, if we really want to go SEO, we go Superman versus Homelander. Who will win? And then in brackets, no one.
That's even better. Superman versus Homelander. That's the title.
Who loses? In brackets, we all do.
We, the comic book buying public, lost here.
There's some fun options there. We'll see when we get there. Anyway, until next time when we continue the fan favorite themed month of the February. Until next time, true believers.
Leave a comment.
And thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, then please subscribe to get notified of our future episodes as well. And if you're feeling particularly generous, then please leave a 5-star review on whatever podcast app you're using. If you'd like to get in contact with us, then send an email to comiclit@gmail.com. You can also watch videos by me on the Comic Stand YouTube page, which is linked in the description. Thank you, goodbye.